Arthritis is a long-term disease in dogs, and you've probably heard that over winter and the colder months it can get worse. But if that means you ignore your dog's arthritis or fail to optimize their treatment plan in the summer months, then you could be compromising their comfort and setting them up to fail when the cold weather does come. And so in this video I want to give you my 5 top tips for treating your dog's arthritis in the summer so they are comfortable and living the life that they deserve. And tip number 1 is to avoid over-exercising your dog. You know, it's really tempting when the sun comes out to try and just make the most of that good weather, knowing that winter is only around the corner. But if you're taking them on significantly longer walks, especially if they are resting in the week and it's at weekends where you really get out and about, or if you restart certain exercises like getting that ball out again and throwing that to them, they're really going to enjoy themselves, but their joints are going to struggle. The progression of their arthritis is going to worsen, the actual damage to the joints is going to worsen, and so their long-term pain is going to increase, but also short-term, they're really going to start struggling. And this is probably the number 1 mistake that I see pet parents make in the veterinary clinic every time the warm weather comes around. Now, because arthritis is a dynamic condition that does change over time, it has periods where it gets worse, where it's much better, and the summer when the warmer temperatures are around does have an effect of easing stiff joints. It helps keep things a little bit more supple. It actually has a pain-killing effect as well. And to supercharge the benefit of this warmer weather, start using the heated wraps by PT Tech, who are sponsoring this video. They're perfect for supplying heat deep into the joints of arthritic dogs and are ideal to use in the morning or the evening to keep your dog as comfortable as possible. You can get 10% off by using the link and the code in the description down below. It's certainly possible that if your dog doesn't need painkillers on a constant basis, then they might get away without painkillers during the warmer month. Equally, it might be that you can just reduce the dose of their medication. The big caveat here though, and a common mistake that I see, is people really trying to kind of scrimp and save, if you like, on these painkillers. And it gets to a point where they're giving a dose that is so low as to be kind of negligible in how well it's going to work, or they fail to recognize the early stages when their dog is actually starting to develop signs of pain again. And so it gets to a stage where it's only when they're really painful that those painkillers are reinstated. Now, of course, if you do a lot of the other things that we can do for arthritis management, we don't necessarily need to have that reliance on painkillers, especially in the early stages of this disease. But we must never forget that arthritis is an incredibly painful condition. It has a massive negative impact on a dog's quality of life if it's undertreated. And so we should make sure that we're using these drugs responsibly, but also using them so they are going to be as effective as possible at keeping our dogs as comfortable as possible. My next step is to maintain all of these other treatment strategies that you're implementing for your dog, our supplements, our physical therapies, our therapeutic diets. You know, there are so many of these seemingly minor or mild changes and treatment modalities that we can implement that really do add up to make a big difference. But the key here is that they often take significant time to actually start working, to kick in, to have their full benefit for an arthritic dog. And the summer is not a time to think, well, my dog's more comfortable, so I can ramp down, I can take away all of these ancillary and really valuable treatment options. Stick with them, keep them going, and they're going to have the full benefit that they can afford your dog. Now, of course, if you feel that your dog is doing really well, they're super comfortable, you've started all of these other treatments, you know, a few months ago, they have started to kick in, and your dog is significantly more comfortable, it may be that you can do a staged withdrawal of some of these treatment modalities, but it's important not to stop them all in one go. Take away one at a time, really do it very slowly, because the changes, the negative changes, can take some time to appear, just like the benefits took some time to reappear. So do it slowly so that you can be certain that the signs of pain are not returning. At the same time, you also need to be aware of what these signs of pain are. If you're expecting a dog to just limp and that's the only sign they're going to show you, then there's potentially an awful lot that you could be missing. So recognize the signs of pain and monitor your dog closely. And if you want to learn more about the use of heated braces and how they could benefit your arthritic dog, make sure you check out this other video linked on screen. But until then, I'm veterinarian Dr. Alex. This is Our Pets Health, because they're family.